This is one of the first moments where I remember thinking, what do I do now? I was in the middle of the road. I had just heard and felt a loud crash. I look out my window to my right, and I see a wheel, my wheel, rolling with a joyous abandon in the field to the right of my car. It was a hot day. The summer after my freshman year of college, that clunky one where you know a whole lot, maybe a little less than you think. The first summer earning my own money, my first flip phone on the hood. I had been sure that something was wrong with my tire. I even asked a lot of people that actually know about cars, still not me. And they assured me, no, your tire is not flat. So I proceeded. Nothing was in the way of me and the mall. And that's where you'd find me, in the middle of the road with a wheel and a field. My friend Mike came to assess the situation. He was right, my tire was still not flat. We put that not flat tire in the back of my car. Yeah, thanks for that, Mike. In that moment, I laughed, I smiled, and I thought, how did I get here? I found a lot of other people to blame in that moment. None of them were there with me. The good thing about your wheels literally falling off is that you can't stay stuck in blame for too long. No, the people honking and passing you with slow annoyance will push you to move forward. It's a little bit harder in other points in our life. We know something's off, something's wrong. And while we really wish somebody else could be in charge and tell us exactly what that thing is and what to do next, you know, like I've known in countless moments in my life, the only person in charge is you. You're going to be the one taking a best next step. As I was daydreaming about the air conditioning in a brand new car, I had identified get a new car as my best next step. Yeah, as if that was just one step away. How frequently do we confuse big goals, objectives, step 100 for step 1? We say things like, I'll be able to make progress forward once I get a car, graduate from school, have love, buy a house, have a child, get a divorce, lose the weight, have another child, maybe that would be good. I'd like to find love. Could I change my career? As if all of those things are just one step away from happening, instead of what they really are. Big goals that we get to move towards, an undisclosed number of steps and detours along the way. But the big goal is helpful because now you know where you want to go. And so what do we decide that we need after that? We need a plan. Yeah, we decide that we need a plan. Plans are at best laughable, right? I want you to go back with me in a time machine, a year, 2 years, and I want you to give that you of 1 or 2 years ago precise instructions on how to get to this moment you're in today. Could you do it? Could you explain the joy and the delight, the unexpected pleasure, the heartbreak, the disappointment, the things that you didn't plan? I bet not. I know I couldn't. And if we can't do that with the unimaginable advantage of hindsight, what on earth makes us think that we're going to make a plan for 5 years or 1 year or dinner? Right? We all struggle with plans for dinner. Where our plans really go off the road, though, is we like to plan from this mythical middle place I like to call where I thought I'd be by now. Yeah, it's a lovely place. I really like it. It has 2 fundamental challenges, though. 1, you're not there. And 2, that place isn't even real. So if plans are laughable and a little bit unhelpful, how do we make any progress forward today? Well, we can take intentional action. Intentions are like grown-up magic spells. Intentions answer the question, how do you want this to go? A few years ago, I was in the car with my daughter. We were on our way to the zoo with her younger siblings. She didn't want to go. And if you've ever been in a car with a tween that doesn't want to go somewhere, you can feel that energy real close. But I took an exhale and I said, you are here and we're going to the zoo. How do you want this to go? Do you want to make the best of it or do you want to make it rough on everybody? She acknowledged at first that she'd like to make it really rough on me, but then thoughtfully reconsidered and decided that she'd rather make the best of it. It remains my favorite trip to the zoo. An intention I'm leaning into right now is scenic route. I want to release some of the pressure about how fast I get someplace in favor of really enjoying the journey. The most important part of your intention setting is that you're setting it. You're not leaving it to some reactionary impulse based on where you are on the side of the road. With your intention in hand, you're ready to make a best next step. Where we start that best next step is on this really beautiful sticker. I think you've seen it at the mall. It's on the map. It says, "You are here." It's so nice to be here. When we open ourselves up to the "you are here" of this moment, we get to see it with a loving clarity that really opens us up to all of the possibilities that exist directly in front of us. And there's a lot of them. I've stood on the "You are here" sticker while I was holding a positive pregnancy test with hair dye in my hair. Yeah. I've stood on the "You are here" sign clutching divorce papers outside of a courtroom, wondering what my last name should be. I've stood on the "You are here" sign watching mud flow into my basement where the foundation had failed. You are where you are. And the only progress that can be made from this point will be made by you from this point. When I was holding that positive pregnancy test, my best next step was to let the timer buzz. I didn't look good as a neon orange blonde, right? My best next step, while standing outside of that courtroom wondering what my last name should be, was to take a deep breath. Enough change was already happening that day. I could make a change later. My best next step while watching the mud flow into our basement, acknowledged that this was messy and it was going to get messier, but I was really committed to seeing it through to the other side. Whatever your best next step is, it's here for you. Some popular best next steps: get a glass of water, take a nap, text your mom. You could ask for help. You can put the shovel down. It doesn't always have to get worse before it gets better. Now you might think, are these best next steps impressive? Are they gonna go and change the world? And while you might laugh or chuckle here because they don't seem that big, the truth is yes. Because when we bring best next steps together, we have something that we may be really longing for: forward progress. Will the wheels literally fall off along the way? They might, but you'll be ready for anything. So today, I invite you to look down at the metaphorical "You are here" sign under your feet. Exhale the blame, the expectations, the plans, and smile, knowing that this is an aligned time and the perfect place for your best next step. Thank you.